The Crypto Street Podcast is hosted by Crypto Dale, Prince, and Killer Whale, who can be found on Twitter at CryptoDale, at Killer Whale, K1LLERWH4LE, and at 13Prince31. None of this should be construed as investment advice. For information on how to join our private Telegram group, The Pod, please email tcsp@protonmail.com. The Crypto Street Podcasts are officially sponsored by 21 Cryptos, the world's first and only cryptocurrency trading magazine. Visit 21cryptos.com and enjoy 50-plus pages of pro tips and predictions, an analysis of the best 21 coins to invest in for the month, trading lessons and articles from your favorite pros, price action event calendars, entertainment, and lots more. Stay ahead of the game and get your copy today. Visit 21cryptos.com.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in again to another fantastic, as always, episode of Crypto Street Podcast. My name's Crypto Dale. Killer Whale, what's going on today? It's good.
Hello, how are you, Dale?
Freezing my balls off. What about you?
Same here, man. Cold in LA. Balmy 50 degrees.
How's my favorite Canadian doing, Prince? Second after not so fast. I forgot he was Canadian.
I'm cold. I've been hiding out in a basement because there's so much snow, so that about sums it up.
Hiding out in the basement.
Guys, I hate to break it to you, but we got to be good this episode. We got to be nice. No, limit our cursing because our guest is the father of all cryptocurrency. Twitter people. Bitcoin Dad. What's up, man? How's it going today?
Doing well. Thanks for having me on the show.
Hey, thank you so much for being on. It's nice having a guy that's been in the game for a long time on.
I appreciate it. And don't worry about the language. I come from shitcoin talk.
That's true. Very true.
Fuck yeah.
Titties. So kind of how we kind of start this with every guest is we just ask, maybe touch back on a couple days or a week before you actually dove into crypto. What was intriguing to you about it? And, to this day, what's one of your favorite things about it?
I was just one of those guys that ran across an article on Yahoo News. Sounded like a pretty cool idea and something innovative. This was back in the end of 2013. Of course, the last bubble. So the price of Bitcoin at the time was just cracking $1,000. I was one of those guys to jump in at that point, ride it all the way down to a couple hundred. But it just seemed like a really innovative thing, and started getting into the black hole of crypto, and pretty much the hobby just really expanded from there. That's for sure.
Yeah, because you're full-time crypto, right?
No, I actually, besides the family, the kids, the wife, I still work full-time, believe it or not.
Oh, nice. That's cool. That's pretty awesome. So now that you kind of touch base on that, let's talk about how you kind of balance family life and crypto and working full-time. Maybe some people might need that balance out there, and some advice from someone that's been doing it for so long.
No, it's not easy. There's a lot of tools nowadays, whether it's apps, alarms, things to kind of keep you up on top of things. I learned early on that margin trading wasn't for me. The OK Coin Casino opened up and everybody kind of flooded there, and I was like, yeah, sounds like a great idea, and just got killed. It just wasn't for me to dedicate that much time to watch positions and the charts, and altcoins were definitely a better fit for me to be able to sit on some bags and hold it for some time and not really have to babysit it as much.
Totally relate.
It's not easy, obviously, getting pulled in different directions and work, and just to be able to find time to fit crypto in, but the altcoins, I'm still able to put a couple hours in digging into some ands and, see new coin launches and, see what's going on Twitter and then chatter that's going on. So throughout the day, obviously that helps out having apps and cell phone and what have you. So.
Hey, we spoke with Sicarius a couple of days ago, and he was saying he got in around like 1,000, 1,100 in 2013 as well. And it kind of shaped who he is as a trader, as an investor going forward, having that experience as soon as he entered. So if you could talk a little bit about how that affected you, if it made you feel like quitting, what went through your mind, kind of getting in at the top and having to ride that all the way down?
It definitely wasn't easy. There was a point where I was going to quit. I don't know if you guys were around back then, but Crypto Cobain graciously started a Bitcoin Dad fundraiser, or a Bitcoin Dad trading fund, because I think it was Razor Coin at the time. I got slaughtered. It was one of those Bryce coins, and back in the day, there was definitely a lot more pump and dumps, scams, short-lived developer launched coins that lasted a few weeks, and then they just ran off, and the coin got pounded to the ground. So I was at a point where I had to pay some bills, and I was like, I'm about to hang them up. And this was, probably mid 2014. So he graciously, got this fund together where other traders kind of chipped in, and I think they raised, 1.6 Bitcoin. So at the time it was, $2,000 or so, $1,000. So, I was definitely very generous. And if it wasn't for that, I ultimately wouldn't be here today. So I definitely owe a lot to Crypto Cobain for doing that.
That's huge.
That's something like the community is so amazing in crypto.
Yeah.
It is.
That's one of the things I was going to say that, that keeps me around. It is just the community, people like Sicarius and these people that we all got in around the same time. We all got in around that late 2013, 2014 point where a lot of these people that we kind of just helped each other over the years. I have a lot of respect for a lot of these guys that are still around to this day. And we could finally say, we made it. We went through all this shit and all the scams and all the developer bullshit, Bitcoin crashing, and and here we are today, and it's really unbelievable.
It's surreal.
Let's talk about current market conditions. We record this probably 5 or 6 days, I guess, before we released it, and Peter Branch has called that the Bitcoins hit the bubble. The bubble's popped. It's currently about 14,550 right now. Maybe let's just touch base on the current market conditions, where you maybe see them heading, how you feel on Peter's statements, and you can be very vague if you'd like.
Well, I mean, I have respect for Peter as a trader. I mean, he has called, some of these moves to this point. So, I mean, I feel what he's saying probably does have some weight. So, it's hard. I mean, we've gone up so much this year. It's hard to think that we're not due for some kind of retracement. I mean, when you look at where we started, I know when we hit 1,000 and 2,000 and 3,000, I'm kind of selling on the way up at that point, and looking back, I was like, shit, I spent that money. And, it's like, man, but at the time I thought that shit, man, how much higher is it going to go than 3,000? I would never think it would be close to 20,000 within the 12 months. So, I do feel that a correction is needed. How far it will go, I don't know. You see a lot of charts out there. So it definitely makes you a little nervous, but, throughout the year, I've secured, a good amount of profit. So I'm pretty comfortable, kind of riding it out, see where it goes. I've put other investments into play, just for my family, whether it's a house or, things like that I would have never got to, if it wasn't for Bitcoin. So, I feel pretty content, playing the altcoins and holding Bitcoin and just kind of going from there. In the long term, I feel that everything will, be okay.
You mentioned altcoins. Historically, it seems that the altcoin or quote unquote alt season is come right around the corner. I hear a lot of people say January. Throughout my time in the last crypto, it's always seemed to been, well, next month is gonna alts are gonna boom. No, and then that month comes and goes and it's shit. And then the next month, okay, let's do the next month. What's your take on that? As his speaking in trends, has the alt season always kind of been in January-ish, February-ish?
Well, last year, that's kind of what happened. Things really started heating up around that time, and, the altcoins ended up pumping with Bitcoin up until, let's say 4,000 or 5,000. And then it just kind of got choppy from there and kind of started taking a nosedive. So how it will play, there really doesn't seem to be a trend. When Bitcoin pumps, altcoins pump, or when Bitcoins dump, altcoins dump. It seems like it just kind of hit and miss. But if you do look at the last top that occurred, right after that is when the altcoins really went off. I'm talking back in 2013, 2014, when it hit $1,000, altcoins were really going crazy back then. So, if this is potentially a top here, I don't see why not. And especially with so many more people in the game nowadays, people are looking for the next Bitcoin. I see all these bullshit ads with the guy on Facebook, Howard Stern. That guy drives me crazy, the next Bitcoin. I really think people are going to be out there. I have so many real people, people in real life that are contacting me now and want to get into altcoins. And I think that's, the people that have looked into Bitcoin or consider Bitcoin might be looking elsewhere. And I think a lot of that money might flow into the altcoins moving, in the next few months.
Mm-hmm. Everyone wants those cheap coins with the good potential like Bitcoin that they unfortunately missed out on. So it's like, okay, I got to find my opportunity somewhere.
And that's,
go ahead.
And that's how I got started. I didn't really buy Bitcoin to buy Bitcoin. I bought Bitcoin to make more Bitcoin. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I went to put it to work. I initially bought Litecoin and, then I started getting into the real shit coins, after that. But, that's kind of how it starts. You get that crush, that top 10 coin or whatever that, hey, this could take over Bitcoin or, the people riding Ethereum and thinking that could be the flippening or whatever. So that's my mentality. Within a couple of days, I was already dipping. I was on BTCE or something trying to buy small coins.
You could real quick just talk a little bit about because you were really in crypto when it was completely underground. I mean, I think all of us are still relatively early, but you're really early. So talk a little bit about how that transition has been from your perspective, seeing this go from really this underground sort of tech geek sort of thing to really becoming a mainstream topic of conversation. I'm sure around our jobs, we've heard, people talking about crypto constantly lately. At least I have. Talk a little bit about that kind of transition.
Well, I do find myself talking about it more often, out in the public. Previously I just kind of kept to myself about it. Maybe some close friends kind of tell them, hey, I'm kind of messing with this, but not really, I wouldn't say ashamed, but just people like, oh, that's a joke or, oh, just kind of just talk shit about it. Now you kind of, you're like, fuck you, I don't care, look at what's happened, but back in the day, I was a little more reserved about talking about it, but, I was back on Trex when they were trading 300 Bitcoin a day. They were dark days. there was nothing going on. And, you just kind of hang in there. You'd still find your plays. You'd have a mining play that you'd still, do good on. That kind of keep you going. But things were really, really, really slow. Like I said, 300 Bitcoin a day. I'm sure you guys couldn't even imagine it throughout the whole exchange.
Nothing.
This is not even one coin.
And that was when Bitcoin was $800 per? So it's
the trading volume, US dollar wise was nothing compared to what it is now, let alone all these other exchanges and Binance and, even Polo, just combined. Mm-hmm. The money is just insane. We dreamed about the days that one day, Wall Street's going to come, here they are now, and I'm still kind of in shock just because it happened so quick.
Yeah. It's been
one of the things that's frustrating. Go ahead, Prince.
Oh, it seems like it's just been such an overnight thing almost, time just blurs in crypto land. I that's, and it's just been quite the whirlwind. Honestly, this entire year has just been crazy as hell.
One of the most frustrating things for me is in terms of talking with people in real life about this is when I was gung ho about this, telling everybody look, I'm telling you, you should buy some Ethereum at $14. I'm telling you, it's probably going to work out well. Nobody wanted to talk about it at that point. Everyone was like, yeah, you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. And now people are coming at me left and right. Should I buy this now? And I don't know anymore. I had a pretty good idea. I was pretty sure of it at the time. But now that everyone wants in, it's it's harder to answer with certainty. It's where were you a year ago? It's but it's this thing where by the time people feel comfortable, it's too late.
Well, and even being somebody that's been around, the space for 4 years now, I recently purchased a home and my finance lady was asking me about it, should I buy Bitcoin? It was at 10,000 at the time. And I'm like, what? It's really hard for me to tell somebody buy Bitcoin at 10,000. Yeah. When I was buying it, 300 to 1,000 type of thing. And then ultimately it went up to 19,000 after that. So I'm like, I don't know. I wouldn't buy it. Maybe it 7 or 8,000. I think it did for a second and then shot up to 19. So, it is kind of difficult, especially, somebody who's been around when it's a lot cheaper. And I think all of us, just in the last year, 1,000 to 14,000 as it is right now, 15,000. It's a big jump.
Was there any fear back then when there was only 300 Bitcoin? Was there any fear that maybe this thing wouldn't take off? Did you guys ever talk about that?
No, not really. It wasn't that, hey, this isn't going to work out type of thing. I don't know. I think a lot of it is the amount of Bitcoin I had, really wasn't something that I would be too concerned about, the value of it, so I was like, if it dies, it dies, but obviously now it's whoa, I definitely have a lot more interest in it. And I don't want it to die, obviously. But back then you were just kind of, I was starting with scraps, it was just like side money I had, kind of stopped my 401k for a little bit, put some money in towards Bitcoin. So it wasn't like necessarily making or breaking me. It was just more of a hobby and something that I was cool either way it went for the most part, even though I did enjoy it. And then, I love trading and interacting with other traders. So, I really didn't have that fear as maybe, you run across different roadblocks as you move along. You don't have the big balance. You kind of are just like, whatever, no big deal. But as your balance grows, you kind of get more protective of it. I mean, I had a substantial balance at one point and got cut down in half. And you learn lessons from that. You don't freak out and you don't just sell everything and call it quits. You just hang in there. And ultimately, after that dip, I've exceeded that tenfold type of thing, So,
right.
You kind of learn, especially after the amount of time I've been in the game, you just kind of hang in there at sometimes.
I think that's probably been one of the toughest things to adjust to is that whole mentality of, because even myself, you get in and it's just play money, right? It's money that you're not scared that if you lose it all, it's whatever. Okay, you can go on with your life. And then it becomes not play money anymore, and it's like, okay, this is actually serious now. And the transition, it's tough, like I know I've struggled with it myself. It's a whole headspace kind of thing you got to get around.
Definitely. And I never really thought I'd be paying attention to US dollar, compared to my balance. All I cared about is how many Bitcoin I had, and I know what I had as a max Bitcoin amount at one point, and I can't look back at that and kick myself in the ass because I have less now. I still got to look at the bright side and, what I've done and what I've pulled out and what I still have and be very grateful for. You can't shoulda, coulda, woulda, we're here now. We're in it now. We're not these guys that are just getting in, today. We've been in for some time already.
When you're assessing a new maybe a coin or investment you're looking at, what are some of the things, like rank the importance of this? I'm going to list 4 things off and kind of rank them in order and maybe give a description on why they're important to you. So do you look at the team, the fundamentals, the white paper, or the coin's competition as, maybe rank those from most important to least important in your mind? Not that all 4 of them are not important.
Well, fundamentals and team are my top 2. That's kind of how I base most of my stuff. What were the other 2 options? The
white paper and the competition for the coin.
Competition and white paper. I mean, for me, I am not an IT guy. I'm not really a techie geek. So reading those white papers is like Chinese, Yeah. Sometimes I have no fucking idea. So
we're largely the same way.
That makes me feel really good, actually.
Yeah. So I kind of skip that part altogether. I mean, it's good to go. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll read it and try to get a grasp on something, but a lot of it goes over my head. I really don't understand a lot of the tech stuff behind it. Obviously, more now than when I started. But fundamentals is my main game. I'm not a big technical guy. I'm not a big chart guy. So I look at the fundamentals, and the team, a strong team, an active team, the thread, how busy they are in there, how often are they doing updates, their GitHub, seeing how many commits they're doing, the community, how many, pages of threads going on, how much chatter is going on about it. That kind of comes all into play, and obviously the competition, if it's something unique like Ryblox, that was really, at the time, that was the only thing doing what they were doing for the most part. So, something like that really is like, hey, this is a no-brainer, and you could find things, some devs aren't anonymous, and I learned early on a lot of devs are willing to talk to you, before it was kind of like, oh, I don't want to message a developer, why he's going to talk to me, but you'd be surprised, what kind of response you get from developers. They're more than willing and appreciate the support from, investors. So those are all things I suggest and I feel that, help you make better decisions with some coins.
Community is huge. And also I would just add, don't listen to what other people say about coins. Go to their subreddits, go to their forums, feel around, spend a little time there, see what the people around that project are like. I talked about this before, but when I first got involved, I was a big fan of Ethereum, and people were completely shitting on the Ethereum community, saying it's a bunch of dumb people who are just mad they're not Bitcoin. And when I was there, it could not have been more different. It was nice people, smart people. Everyone wanted to help each other. Do your own research. Super important.
And what's kind of funny to piggyback on that is I was checking out 2 different coins Telegram groups a couple days ago, and in one of them, some guy was complaining that the white paper was not detailed enough, and then the same exact guy in the other coin chat was bitching that the white paper was too detailed. So that just goes to tell you, these people some people just look to find reasons to bitch, honestly.
Yeah, totally.
And they feel like they want everyone to think that they're smart and maybe pump their followers or whatever the case may be.
Crypto's a funny crowd. You get to see a little bit of everything, I find. I think one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time was just recently some new account goes and replies to a Bitrex post, and he's like, "Dear Bitrex, can you please add Electronium to Coinbase?" And it's like what? Like, what's going on here? Some of the characters in crypto.
So, dude, I have a friend back home. He's just like a very nice guy, but like he's always like a little late to the party with this stuff. And like he just I think he bought his first coin like ever like a week ago. He's like, "Yeah, bro, I brought this thing called Electronium," just like you were saying, Dale. And he's like, "I think it sounds really cool." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And he ended up getting hacked, and like it got stolen like 3 days later.
It's not funny.
Welcome to crypto. Yeah,
that's like the classic welcome to crypto moment. Lose all your money in a hack in your first week or something.
No idea how it even went away. It's just
back to the Twitter. Back to the Twitter shilling.
Welcome to the jungle.
For a good Twitter account at CryptoDale.
God,
spelled as it sounds.
Never heard of him.
Okay. Bitcoin Dad. Let's talk about. You kind of, to me, appear to be more of a fundamental analysis guy. Talk about maybe a good balance between the two, and maybe some people elaborate a little more on what fundamental analysis really is. Maybe some people listening don't know the difference between fundamental analysis and technical analysis.
Well, the technical analysis side of things is going to be the charting stuff. You see all these charts on Twitter and all the lines and all the indicators and, a lot of self-taught people, which are very smart. I just, obviously balancing everything in my life, I really couldn't dig in too much. I just have general knowledge in the technicals. But the fundamentals, breaking down just the fundamentals of a coin, just the stuff you were saying, the competition, how many other coins are out there that's doing the same thing? What's different than these other coins? What other features do they have that maybe they don't? I'm a big marketing guy. I like, and maybe that's why I like Patientory. I like Patientory because they're always out there. They're tweeting, they're interacting with everybody. They're in their Telegrams or Slacks and they're answering questions and they're going out to conferences and they're getting the word out. I like that in a team personally. And if I see that marketing, I see that drive that they're going out there and they're getting the word out, they're communicating with investors and they're answering questions and, or having a dedicated person to do that. I like that personally. There's other things, even the coin supply could come into play, even when you're mining a coin, is it high rewards on the front end and then does it taper off? I like the POS hybrids where you can, stake coins while mining is ongoing. And if you stake a coin, you're stealing a block from, POW. And that way the total supply is usually less than what it would have been set. So there's things like that come into play that I kind of like also because, a coin that's a POS hybrid, could have 30 million coins, but at the end of the mining, it could only be 20 million due to the staking that's ongoing during the mining that's stealing the blocks from the miners. So there's some fundamentals like that, that I keep eye on and I like personally.
Do you do a lot of staking?
I do. I wouldn't say a lot. But I have some coins that stake. I wouldn't really, not the crazy high interest, there are some that were like 1,000 or percent and what have you. I really don't get into those. Back when I started, I was like, get on those coins and stake those high blocks and get those rewards. And now, not so much. If a coin will give me a percentage, I'll stake it. I'll put it offline and stake it for a little bit.
All right, so we're going to go to what we like to call this or that. So I'm going to ask you a question. You don't get to elaborate. None of them are going to really be crypto related. So you just get to answer so the people can get to know you better. You walk into a bar. What do you order to drink?
Wait, said, oh, it's not this or that. All right, what?
Sorry.
All right, I'm like this, that.
Modified version. Sorry.
I'm not. Patron on the rocks.
Do you participate in Elf on the Shelf for your kid?
I do.
How's your response with that? Have you done anything funny?
No, not really. I'm kind of lazy with that. I just kind of put them in different spots. I don't really do like the whole like sugar out with a straw. You know,
Oh,
like,
I'm totally doing that.
Shit like that.
But
yeah,
a couple Barbies.
He just kind of jumps from different spots, put a little note for them or something like that. But I don't really get too creative with it.
Do you read or listen to books?
Not really much of either. If I would, I'd probably listen.
Me too. Favorite
Wait, hold on. I have to ask this one because I like this question. Favorite Disney princess?
Oh, that's princess, huh? That's Cinderella. I'm old school.
All right.
Dude, it's got to be Moana.
Jasmine.
Jasmine, yeah, she's pretty hot too.
Wait, you recruiting her for your football team, Dale?
Dude, Moana is a babe. And she is 18. I emailed the writer. Favorite non-crypto relaxing activity?
Golf.
There we go.
Oh, man. What's your handicap?
I'm like a probably bogey golfer. I gotta get out more often. I used to play in high school, but
Dude, that's good.
Yeah. You talk about getting more out often. I'm probably triple bogey golfer.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go on now. Fact or fiction? I'm going to say a statement. I don't necessarily know if I need to say a time frame on these. So I'll say a statement. Everyone say fact or fiction, whether they believe it or don't believe it. And then maybe give a little reason as to why. Not long, though. Okay? First one, Bitcoin will dip below 10,000 again.
Well, as we record this, it has dipped below 14K US dollar. I have been extremely distracted.
Yep.
Will we go below 10K? Who knows? We'll see if they can get some panic selling going, I guess. But I think we could go down to the 12s, 13s, but get a nice bounce. But we'll see.
I'll go fact. I think it's going under 10K. For how long? I don't know. I think it'll dip.
I say fact also. I think we might breach the 10K mark. I don't know if it's going to be right away, but I feel they're going to shake out some more people.
Have we had a meaningful retest of 10K, really?
I don't believe
We've been so parabolic.
Not like a big
now.
one, right?
Yeah, it's like
So
the retests have been very slow.
Oh yeah. Well, does anybody else feel like I remember Bitcoin? I remember it going over like 5K, and then I feel like I looked again and it was like 17.5. But I don't remember anything from like 5 to 15.
Once it broke 10, I don't see it really. It dipped down a little bit. It didn't break 10 again though. Once it broke 10, I think it hit like 10.2 or something like that. But never did break 10 again.
See, I'm still stuck in the days of Bitcoin being like equal to the price of gold. I'm still back in that mindset.
Yeah.
All right, Litecoin will overtake Ethereum in Satoshis.
False.
In price.
False. Yeah.
False. No way. So we're hearing some rumors today. This is Thursday about Litecoin being added to Facebook, which is like, I mean, we hear some wonky rumors. That's like one of the wonkier ones. I don't know why they would add Litecoin before Bitcoin.
Transaction speed.
So I think that's very strange. Yeah.
Fees.
Those rumors, though, back in the day were really big. And I really don't think, I mean, obviously if Amazon or eBay, that could be a big catalyst. But back in 2013, 2014, that's kind of what we were shooting for. Like, oh, this, Overstock accepts them. All right. Or, and we were just all pumped up about that. But now that almost seems like it's not that big of a news story, that a retailer is going to accept it. Unless it is, like an Amazon or eBay. I think that would.
If this Facebook thing with Litecoin had come out as a rumor a year ago, Litecoin would have tripled. Guarantee it. Now it's nothing, really.
Charlie even dumped it.
Guys.
Dude, but I do kind of see his point for doing
the
it.
guys calling
honestly.
tops.
He gets his balls busted a lot for trying to pump or inflate the price of it. So I get what he's saying, but I just don't.
You know what? I'm going to take issue with this though. Actually, because Charlie Lee for a long time, and I have no problem with the guy, but he's kind of been like a stealth shill a little bit. But I feel like you can't like do that for like a year, have your coin go up 1,000,000%, and then go, oh, I'm going to sell everything, guys. This is a conflict of interest. Like the conflict of interest has been rather clear for quite some time. And now that it's gone up 1,000,000%, you go, I'm out. Like what?
But, then you look at, how did he obtain those coins? I mean, was there a pre-mine? I don't know too much about the early beginnings of Litecoin. Then you got something like Zcash where, they're getting the founder reward,
Yeah.
So, is it good? Then you had Vitalik that sold, sound financial planning, when he sold a bunch of Ethereum before it boomed. I mean, it was way back. I wouldn't say way back, but crypto way back. But, I want to say that was a year and a half ago that, I know he sold off some Ethereum. So I don't see anything wrong with it personally. He did well. If he's still motivated for the project, then more power to him. I do think though, them having an interest in the project, having some coins, might make them work harder or be more motivated.
Totally, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he did keep the real ones.
Oh,
so he has
some.
some.
Collectors, yeah.
Like 15 or something.
Oh.
All right, next one. Tezos will overtake Ethereum in market cap.
All right, let me start off. Tezos, get your act together. I don't know what you guys are doing over there in Switzerland playing grab ass, but this project is really starting to piss me off. I think talking about it overtaking Ethereum is a joke right now. They need to even launch. If you guys have been following this, Tezos is in a weird situation. They raised so much money, but they have this bickering between the founders and this foundation head Gevers. And it's basically what I think is like essentially like a conflict among those two parties that's really kind of spilled over and is now delaying the blockchain. It's a complete mess. And actually, a couple of days ago, Olaf Carlson Wee, the manager, founder of Polychain Capital, big time crypto hedge fund, he applied to be a board member on the Tezos board. If that happens, I'm super bullish on it. I think that would be awesome. But they have a lot of things they need to figure out.
They really
first.
need something like that to happen, if you ask me.
Yeah. They do, yeah.
I'm going to say there's a possibility, but I'm not going to give a fact or a fiction because...
You pussy.
I just don't know what to say, but, if they can get their shit together, I say, yeah, there's a chance. So who knows?
Yeah, and I'm kind of on the same boat. I mean, I don't think so, at least not right off. Well, it's a hard one. I would say false, though. I fiction. I really don't think it will. These coins are already so established, but, anything's possible. At the launch, it could just have some crazy FOMO and, it could temporarily overtake it, but I don't see it as a permanent thing.
Yeah, and I like, Tezos is like a unique one. I mean, because they have a lot of good things going for them too. If they can figure this stuff out, there are a lot of really actually good things about the project, the code, the language, the security of it. They have an amazingly huge war chest of capital to use in terms of getting on exchanges, paying developers. So they have a lot going for them, but they need to really kind of get their act together and they're missing out on this entire bull run. It's just, they had all this goodwill after the ICO and everyone is just soured on it so much.
It is happening.
I hope so, Dale.
It'll be by the end of next year. So Tezos, go ahead and send me the coins that you promised me for saying that it will happen.
Your boy gonna be living on a boat, if that's true.
I get seasick, fuck that. All right, last one. Total crypto market cap will be over 1 trillion by August of 2018.
Fact.
So basically right now it's currently at 561 billion.
Definite fact, I'll go. I think it'll be twice as big fairly easily around a year from now.
Yeah, I'm with fact.
I'm going to say fact, and I'm going to say by the end of May.
Ooh.
Actually.
Ew.
This alt season is going to treat us alters very well.
Let's hope.
Just in time for the pod meetup 2018.
Yeah, we're not going to disclose the location.
Let's hope. There's been a lot of alt seasons that everyone's thought about are happening, and then they don't happen. They're just these alt fake outs. So let's hope,
Hopefully this is the month.
Yeah.
I do, like I said, I don't think that, altcoins are really going to be beaten up too much. Just in regards to my follower count, last time the altcoins really went off my follower count, I kind of, that's a fundamental thing for me too. My follower count has really picked up over the last month, definitely a few weeks.
Totally.
So it just means that there's another flood of people coming in, seeing what's going on Twitter. What are we talking about? What coins are we looking at? So that was an indication last year when the last bubble happened, or when the last altcoins pump were going off. So I'm seeing it again now. So,
If you recall, did that precede the alt run, the kind of influx of followers that you noticed?
Yep. And,
Okay.
we were tracing the Polo. How many people were on Polo at the time? It was like once they cracked 10,000, we're like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, this is huge. 10,000 people online. This is unbelievable. And then it was 20 next week. Then it was 30 the week after. And it was like 40. It was like, oh, shit. So
I would agree with you, man, because, yeah, I kind of got involved at the start of the last alt run, and it feels very similar to that right now, where you wake up, you open Blockfolio, and it seems to go up every single day. And you're like, oh, my God. Like, But that happened for, like, 4 to 5 months last time. So I think it's possible.
Let's fucking go.
I would like to see Bitcoin stabilize a little bit more because I don't know, if obviously Bitcoin drops 50%, how beneficial the altcoins, at least in US dollar, will be. Of course, we'll have more Bitcoin and hopefully then, it would be, making a rebound at that point. But ideally, I would like to hang above 10,000. Altcoins pop up, and, Bitcoin go sideways for a little bit.
Be all right with that.
I would love some Bitcoin consolidation, low volatility. That would be a dream again, just for some altcoin action. But who knows? This is crypto land, so.
Just when you think you know it, it throws a curveball.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You always got to be adapting, always learning. Because, these markets, there's a lot of cycles, but as well because it's so new and it's still under so much development, these cycles are going to be they're not always going to be the exact same, right? So you always got to be on guard and constantly trying to adapt.
You guys got anything chapping your ass since we last talked?
Usually it's easy for me to find things to complain about, but whenever you ask me here, I just can't think of anything. I don't know.
Bitcoin's under 14K right now, so that's chapping my ass. It's kind of sad.
It's a couple $100 underneath too.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Oh, by the way, we're recording, and XR Ripple is just running, like, it's about the only thing running right now, crazily.
Man, fuck that shit coin.
117! I've been gloating so much over this thing on Twitter the past couple of days. Okay, but that's another thing. Listen, make your own opinions. When I got involved in crypto, I was buying Ripple at half a cent, and people were telling me it was garbage and it was a scam and I was going to lose all my money. It's over $1 now.
Yeah.
Form your own opinions.
No kidding.
Good ad there, Prince.
Yeah.
I made a promise back in after the Palm Beach thing that I would never buy this fucking piece of shit coin again. And
the non-pump?
It just chaps my ass every time I see it go up. I'm just like, you motherfucker. Oh, it just pisses me.
Ripple chaps more asses in crypto than any other coin except maybe Bitcoin Cash.
And I liked it at one point too.
I liked it when
back
it was at 15 cents. Not a
telling
buck
my wife,
16,
I'm like, we're
though.
gonna load up on this fucking. Yeah, I'm like, we're gonna load up on this thing, and then I bought it, and
I've had so many people asking me about Ripple lately.
It's because it's the cheapest coin on Coinbase.
Yeah, they hear things, but they're not into it. But yeah, Ripple is always the coin they'll bring up to me, and it's like they bring up Ripple before they'll bring up Ethereum, which kind of blows my mind. But yeah, Ripple is the coin that, they like to talk.
Mm-hmm.
IOTA, that's another one that's been slowly starting.
Did they have like a controversy though over something in like the code? I'm not too familiar with IOTA, but I thought I remember seeing something about that.
I don't even think their blockchain works or whatever, or like, I don't think their network even works from what I heard.
Well, that's a problem.
I can't verify that because I don't actually know, but this is what I've been hearing. I'm not involved with IOTA at all. I don't buy that coin, but yeah.
I thought I heard that they
I don't
set a
want to buy
partnership.
it, but yeah. I hear that it doesn't even work, so it's like...
Set a partnership or something with Microsoft?
Well, what, during the last...
Yeah, really?
I don't know, like, they had that huge pump, and people couldn't even send it because, like, the network wasn't working or something like that. So it's like, anybody who was holding it in a wallet, well, good luck trying to get your profits, because if it's on an exchange, you're not doing anything.
Hey, real quick, I want to talk about, I saw, this useless Ethereum token?
Yeah.
I was telling my coworkers about it today, and like how you can pump like really anything. It has a daily volume of $200.
Are you shitting me?
No, you cannot get out of it even if you want to.
I have 5,000 of those because
you're trapped.
The owner of it sent it to me or whatever and said, "You're one of the most useless Twitter accounts, so I'm sending you a useless coin."
Yeah, Dale's going to be scaling out of that position over the next 20 years.
talking about that coin with the lack of liquidity, just imagine how it was when Bitcoin, when Bittrex only had 300 Bitcoin volume. I mean, you're selling off 0.01 Bitcoin a day just to try to get out of a position. I couldn't imagine having, a 5 Bitcoin position in an altcoin when it's only trading 1 Bitcoin a day.
That's nuts.
Yeah, and like I've even thought about that. It's kind of scary to think about for anybody, I guess we talk about institutional guys coming in, putting in big money into crypto. To me, I do think about this. It's like if you go into an altcoin and it doesn't work out, you're not getting out of that position. Because if you're trading in a large size, you're done. That's going to zero, right? Because these liquidity in the books, they can vanish pretty quick, especially on the smaller stuff. So that's something that I've been thinking about lately. And it's just like, man, that's kind of terrifying for these guys coming in.
And that's something a lot of people I don't think consider is liquidity. That's super important because that's going to decide how easy it is for you to get in and out of your position. If you're trading a coin and the daily average volume on that is tiny, you're going to have a really tough time moving any kind of capital in or out. So it's something to consider for all you new folks coming in. We know there are a lot of you, so look at the volume. It's important.
Rock on.
Yeah.
All right, well, should we wrap up?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, Bitcoin Dad, thanks for watching over your chiddens tonight. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate having your knowledge and sharing your stuff with us. So thank you.
It was awesome. Thank you so much.
Follow me at Bitcoin_dad on Twitter. Sometimes I'll be on Shitcoin Talk, but I really appreciate you guys inviting me on. I'm glad to kind of give you some advice or the listeners some advice and background of myself and what I've gone through to kind of be where I'm at today. So I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for being on. I know this is going to come out after Christmas, but we hope you have a good holiday with your family and whatnot. So
thank you very much. You guys as well.
Thanks. So thanks everyone for listening. As always, make sure you tip your damn waitress because they're working their balls off to get you everything that you need. Keep your damn sodas refilled. Tip them. Show them their acts of kindness.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks for listening and take care.